Welcome to Module 9 Frameworks Class 1. Okay, so in this module, we are going to discuss about these points: introduction of testing framework, types of framework, and different tools are available in the market to design framework, and we will be concentrating on one particular framework that is called as TestNG framework, and how to configure that in Eclipse, TestNG annotations, preparing a test and running using TestNG, and checking the TestNG default report. So module 9 you will understand completely about TestNG framework, and in module 10 we will discuss about how to use TestNG in a real-time application. Okay, so what is test framework? Let us understand. See, so far we have seen the complete concept of different components of Selenium IDE, RC, and the WebDriver. Okay, so now we are understanding the concept of TestNG framework. So when you talk about test framework, okay, it is always important to understand what is really a framework. Framework is nothing but integration of different components. See, while doing testing, we have different components, right? Like test case, okay, and we have set of test data which is used in test case execution, correct, right? So, and we will be having the results when you execute the test cases manually. So those execution status you will be capturing in result reports, run reports, okay. And to execute the test cases, so we have to pick those test cases and run them. And again, test cases by module wise we will keep inside the test suites, correct, right? Test suite, okay. So these are the different components while testing an application. So let's take, we are doing automation testing. So same components we have to set, correct, right? We have to interlink each other. Like for example, we have list of test cases like T1, like T2, like T3. So all these are present where? In test suite, correct, right? So now, okay, so now test case reading the data from test data, that means there is a dependency here, correct? And once test cases are executed, that means when test suite is executed, okay, the reports result will be writing into where? Result sheet, that is called as run report, correct, right? So we have to integrate like this, okay. So, and we will be having one engine, one driver where we'll run this entire suite, correct, right? Test driver or run a driver, correct, right? What it does, when you click on this, or when you click on this particular file or an arrangement, okay, so the whole test suite will execute. Test suite will pick test cases, list of test cases, and test cases will be executed, and each test cases will be picking test data. Once execution is done, a report will be written into report, run report. So this automated arrangement we will do while doing automation testing, that is called as test automation framework, a systematic arrangement of different components of testing components called as test cases, test data, run reports, and test suites. Even if you have a reusable codes while automating, okay, reusable codes, all those are different components. Correct, right? So as a group, we call this as test framework. Okay, so like this, there are different frameworks are available in market. Okay, so what are them? So we know that linear framework, also called as simple framework. Okay, and data driven framework, and keyword driven framework. Okay, and module driven framework. Okay, so we have a lot of framework, correct, right? And the hybrid framework, automation framework. Okay, these are the different types of frameworks we can design. Okay, all these, each framework does some kind of work. Okay, and there are already tools are available in the market which we can ready-madely we can use to automate our framework test cases, called as TestNG, JUnit, Maven, Cucumber. Okay, so these are the available, already designed and made it available in the to ready to use. So you can download and configure in your Eclipse or any IDE which you are using. So directly you can start designing your framework, automating your test cases. Okay, so these are the different framework which are available, tools. So TestNG is also a tool we can integrate with Eclipse. JUnit is also a tool. It is already available with Eclipse. Maven is another tool, and Cucumber and Ant is also a tool frame. I mean, in your one of the tool to build automation test cases. Okay. Now, in my tutorial, I am concentrating on TestNG, which is widely used. Everybody uses because it has very good reporting structure. Okay, for example, I'll just show you one report how when you execute the test. So what kind of a report you would get out of TestNG. Okay, see, just go to images. You will find a lot of images, sample reports which people have been uploaded. See here, this is one kind of report here. Okay, see, TestNG reports and list of test cases are listed here, and when it is executed. Okay, so module wise, see, for example, here, test in the scope, factory, exclusion. Some project has different modules, and module wise as a result here. Number of test cases are executed, number of failed, number of ignored, total number of test cases passed or failed, percentage, and it gives a graph. Okay, this particular report is generated by the TestNG. That is what we are going to learn now. Okay, to first of all, to work with TestNG, you have to configure TestNG in your Eclipse. For that, let me create a project. Okay, so I'm creating a new project to discuss about TestNG. Test framework. I'll just demo. Okay, I'm creating a project. Once project is created, okay, what you have to do, yeah, so not before creating a project, once Eclipse is downloaded, okay, so what you have to go to helps and install new software. Click on this. Okay, you will get a install window. So later, go to, just open a browser, type testng.org. Okay, this URL. So this is the official website of testng. Okay, you will get complete information about testng here. Okay, different, all complete notes about testng. In fact, even I have learned testng, different components and how to use it from this website only. You can also do that. And while configuring testng into Eclipse, what you have to do, go to Eclipse here and click on install the plugin. Okay, so you just follow this step. Okay, you have to go to help software updates and find and install, which we already opened. And next, search for new features to install. Correct, right? That means here you just copy this URL. Okay, just blindly just copy this URL and paste it here and add it. So again, just give name called a testng. Okay, click on OK. So once it is clicked on, so that option will be added here. Select this. Once you selected, you will get an option like this here. Select that and click on next. Just click on clicking on next items in further windows until testng will be installed. So final step, testng will be installed in your Eclipse, because I'm not doing, because already in Eclipse, in my Eclipse, testng has been installed. If I try to install, it will be corrupted. Okay, I just cancel this. You follow this while first time you are installing the testng. It's a very few simple step. You can do it. Once that is done, okay, remember the project creation is not required. I did mistake. Okay, so don't follow that. To install, go to open Eclipse, go to help, open this, type that URL here and add it next. Okay, once testng is installed, what you have to do to check whether testng is installed successfully or not, go to Windows, select Preferences, and here you should be able to see one option called as testng. Okay, so this is your option. So if you are able to see this, testng has been installed successfully. Okay, cancel this and create a project. After that, create a project. Here now project has been created. So what you can do, just create a class. Okay, you can create a normal class. Okay, I'll just say testng demo. So while working with testng, main method is not required. Okay, it's very important. So while working with testng, main method is not required to create in a class. Okay, so later create a method, public void first method. Say I am just creating test case 1. Okay, so a one particular class can have multiple tests, right? And just let's say there are 3 scenarios. Just assume I'm automating one test case, one particular module. I'm creating a 3 scenario. Okay, to make it simple, I'll make it login. Okay, I'm renaming this class, and login has what? log invalid. So let me use the right words so that you can understand. Login invalid. Login verification. Okay, there are three methods. So now, so here inside what happens? Inside login code and specific test case code will go. Correct, right? Like this. So now you can run this. So but before running, to run this, so normally we know that we will be having public static void main method. But while working with testng, this is not required. Main method is not required. So to specify your particular test class is testng class. There is an annotation called as, it's a keyword test. So this is the keyword of testng. We call it as test annotation. Annotation is nothing but a keyword which indicates the particular method belongs to testng test method. There are many methods in testng. So I'm talking about testng test method. Okay, you are getting a validation error here because we have to add testng library. So you can add from here as well. Otherwise, once project is created, right click on this, properties, go to build path and add libraries and select next, click on finish. Okay, once you have done that, testng library will be added here. Fine. So now see, you are getting this option, import test this package information. Because you are using testng annotation, that annotations package should be imported. Okay, once that is done, so indicate, so you can have even a plain method also while working with testng. So but while executing, this particular method will not be considered to execute using testng concept. We'll see that later. So as of now, I'll make it test method. So now you have a login.java class file which has testng methods. Now it's a testng methods. So you can run this. So before running, just let me write something here. System out println. Pass. Okay, similarly I'll write in all methods, test methods. Okay, so different code, login with invalid and login page okay. So now, so you can run this. So when you run, you will get a result. Okay, so let's see what kind of result you will get it. So you can run this in two ways. One is here, select this, run as testng. Okay, testng demo, right? Login. Okay, login scenarios. Okay, right click here. If you don't not getting that option here now, there is a refresh problem because since I have changed the name. So right click on this file and go to run as, and this time you will get an option called as testng test. Before we used to get run as Java application, right? Now since we don't have main method, we are getting this method, this option. Select and run this. Once you have run this particular test has been executed. It's a plain method, right? No action. Immediately we'll get report. So we'll get report like this. See here, login with invalid is pass, login with page verification is pass. So all test outputs have been printed and all test methods, testng methods name with passed string is appended here. That means This is how test-ng report displays. Okay, so you will get one more type of result. See, the result you are getting on console is a standard output console which you are seeing. Okay, so first line we have a test-ng XML file. I will explain this later. What is this exactly? And your output and passed failed result and default test. Yes, this is a default test. Test name is default test, and there are 3 runs. Out of them, no failures and no skips. All these are the specific information, run information with respect to test-ng run, test-ng test run. Okay, so you have one more results of running class login. This is a test-ng report. Okay, select this. Now you are see kind of readable result. So here you have a test default package. So you have default suite and default test. Remember this. You have a suite which is default. We have a suite which is test as default, and we have a login test which has 3 scenarios. Okay, eventually we should have 3 scenarios, but here it is displaying 2 scenarios. Okay, fine, let's understand later. So login invalid, login page verification. Correct, right? Now, so let's go back to console and understand an XML file. This XML path you are seeing, this is the file, test-ng XML file. Test-ng XML file is nothing but it is test-ng suite. Okay, so you are executing this result like this. That means eventually this XML has this test information. We'll see this, copy this, go to run, go to this location. Okay, there's a test-ng custom suite.xml file. Open this in Notepad++. You can see in a readable format. So note down, you should install Notepad++, because when you open any code, it will display in the readable format. Okay, see, this is the test-ng custom suite XML file. So it has tag like this, suite. Okay, it has always start from the tag, suite tag, suite tag, name is equal to default suite. That is what we have seen here. Okay, that's name is displaying here, and test is default test, and it has class. Inside we have a class, name is equal to login. This is our class name. Okay, so that is what we are seeing here, default suite, default test, login, and login as test cases. Okay, when you come back to console, you have the same result here. Correct, right? You can clear this. So again you run and see the result. Every time it writes the fresh result. Okay, so this is the place where you can see the report. One is here, results of test-ng report here. So in the readable format. So you can see how much time has been taken each test cases to execute, how many pass, how many fail, how many skipped. Okay, if there are failed scenarios, those information will be displayed here, and summary of the execution. Okay, totally it has taken 14 milliseconds, and one class which contains 3 methods, test methods, and there is no excluded methods. We'll see all these things further while working on the real-time framework. Fine. So now you have understood creating test-ng method and running them. Correct, right? Now, so what I will do, what I was telling you, you can uncheck this test. When you run this, now this particular test will not be executed because that is not a test result. That's not a test-ng report, test-ng method. Okay, because annotation has been removed or commented. Okay, see here there are only two results now. Correct, right? So this is how you can have in your TestNG class, you can have even plain method without having this annotation, test annotation. Okay, this is about the simple TestNG file. So now we'll have, I'll create another TestNG class. So this we have seen by creating a normal class and converting your class, normal class into TestNG class. Now we can create a TestNG class only. Go to new, others, there is an option called as TestNG. Expand this, select this, click on next. So this is the special type of class of TestNG. Class name you can give login test, and there are different type of annotations here. See here, before test, after class, before method, after method, after, before suite, after suite. So you can read, you can search information about this and understand. I will teach in my class, I will teach only the annotation which are required to work with TestNG while with Selenium. Okay, let's select after test and before test. Okay, sorry. So you can, you should give it package name here, login suite, I will give you finish. Okay, so now this is how your class template looks. The whatever methods we have selected while creating TestNG class, so those methods have been created with those annotations. Okay, before test, after test, test. So what it does, quickly I'll write from test method. From before test method, from after test method. So when you execute, let's see the difference. You have executed this, right? So there is an exception, right? Okay, so I did a mistake, so this package is not proper one. Let me create a package under source. So you also while creating TestNG suite, don't create package from the TestNG wizard. Okay, so just move and paste it here and remove this. Go same file and run this now. I was running from here, now this time I'll run from here. You can run from anywhere. So you get the result for the same test. See here now. See, you can observe the output which I am expecting here. See, test. First, from before test method as executed, and from test method, from after test method. Okay, so before test method is always executes before your test. After test method will execute after your actual test, wherever you have these methods, annotations. Okay, so to readable purpose you can use like this. So that's the use of before test and after test. Where we can use this before test, in test cases we will be having the preconditions which supposed to be done before executing the test cases. Those preconditions you can run here, like launching a browser, creating the Firefox object, maximizing the window, okay, setting the implicitly wait. All those settings information you can do in before test, and actual test case steps you can write inside the steps here. correct, right? Inside the test, and after test closing the browser, so you can put it here. We'll see that how we can do now. So let's take a sample code of login. I will copy from the previous project which I had discussed in previous modules. Okay, login scenarios. I'll just copy login successful code. Okay, I will put inside the login with valid. Correct, right? So now it is asking these package informations. Just blindly you can, so as I told you, you can put this inside here. Okay, so and this also you can inside here. These steps are not specific to the test case preconditions. So why I am getting this error? Because this particular new project doesn't have the Selenium code jar files. Go to properties and build path, add external jars. You go to particular your Selenium library path, select everything, all jars, and blindly add it. Okay, once you have added, now that exception, that validations error have been gone. So still you have error here because this object is not visible inside this method. For that, what you have to do, very simple, this make it public. Okay, I just making this declaration driver variable which is referring the WebDriver interface as a public. Now this object is everywhere, it is visible. Correct, right? So if I run this, so what will happen? Login is pass. Okay, let me run. Just running. So now it launches the browser because this before test is executing now. It is launching the browser and maximizing it. Okay, I think something happened, so just let me close. What has happened here? So the driver is missing, correct? Now let me again run this. See, while doing, you will do this kind of mistakes, so don't get panic when you get an error or your test is failed. So go back to your code and then verify line by line, understand where you have done the mistake, because we are human beings, we are always do mistakes. Most of the times we do mistakes. We can correct by looking into our work again and again. We can minimize our mistakes. Okay, now execution has been done. See, now the result you can see here. See, there is some error, ignore that. So using testng report, testng class, you can run result like this. So because this error, because of this. Okay, so this run was failed, correct, right? Because no such element exception occurred here, unable to locate. So go to result of testng. See here, you can see here it has been failed. You can see a red mark and failure exception. Failed test, this one test. Okay, select this failure exception. You can see that it will give you complete information, and summary, it will give you only one method is executed. Okay, so come back here. So I corrected now, so let me run this now again. Yeah, so now it is running. So application launch will be done. Application is launching. Now logged in. Execution is done. It is logging into the application. So it is loading here. So Now just close this. Manually we are closing it. Oh yeah, so sorry, I did mistake, I manually close it. Okay, so as I told you, in after test what we can do, driver and quit we can use it. Okay, because I'm closing the browser, right? So this actual steps. Okay, right click again and run here. So please follow these steps, video steps one by one, and you'll learn easily. So now the see the result. Login is paused. This is message from here. Standard output message, and login with valid is passed. And default message is this, and go to report, and now you can see your test has been passed. Green color. There is no exceptions. So along with this, in your project, once test ng report is executed each time, you just go to your project, refresh it, and when you refresh, you'll get a new folder called as test output folder. Expand this and go to index.html, right click, open with web browser. Okay, so it will open, it will display a report in the chart format, in the regular format, which you can communicate to your team. Okay, take this URL. Okay, you can open this in a browser, any browser, and paste it here. It is loading. Okay, you can read from Eclipse as well. See here, show only one test has the particular test method. Got right? So that has been executed. Not this one. Only one test, right? And reports. You can see the login with valid and report output. We are not writing any output. Let's read this, the same index.html in the browser. See the result here. This is your result file. So what is the custom suite we are using, right? We are not creating our own test XML file. So we are using the default file. That's a location here, and chronological view gives you your all methods. See, before test method has been executed first, and login with valid execution, it has taken 7.84 seconds, and after it has taken totally 9.2. Fine. If you expand this, you'll see result all passed. Okay, go back to Eclipse. So this is how you can verify your end-to-end test execution, automation test execution reports in TestNG. Okay, so this is what we have studied in module 1. Okay, so we have understood what is framework and types of frameworks. We have understood tools, different types of tools which are available to design framework, that is called as TestNG, JUnit, Maven, and TestNG. We have understood about TestNG, what is TestNG and how to configure that, and annotations we have understood some of them, and prepared test and running test we have understood, and checking the report. So that's about module 9. Okay, in module 10 we'll take one sample application and we'll design a real-time TestNG framework and execute that. So we'll understand end-to-end automation, how we can design the framework, design the test cases, running all of them in Eclipse, and running all of them from even command prompt. So seeing the report. Okay, that is at that stage, at the class 10 module 10 end of module 10, you will have a real-time hands-on experience on TestNG integration with Selenium WebDriver, along with Selenium WebDriver experience. Okay,